What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Haynesy coming back for another video, and today we are here for our round 8 tips of the 2024 NRL Telstra Premiership season. It is Anzac Round, and as you can tell, I'm dressed for the occasion for Anzac Round. I've got my brand new Bondi blue jersey. Got a collar. I know me and Winston love our collars, so we got a collar for the Roosters Anzac jersey this year. So excited for Anzac Round. It's going to be a good one. Now, last week for round 7, we took on Random Stats Guy, and I'm proud to announce Haynesy won, probably the tipping upset of the season. Haynesy 11 defeated Rando 9. It was, can't believe it beat Rando. I'd like to thank Random Stats Guy for coming on last week. Checked out Random Stats Guy yet? Go check it out. He does some amazing content, and I was super privileged to have him on my channel for the first time. Now let's get into round number 8, Anzac Round. We've got a brand new guest this week. It's going to be a good one, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Haynesy_IT. We're closing in on 2,000 subscribers. We're about 140 away now, so hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It is really appreciated. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get straight into our Anzac Round and predictions. Hope you guys enjoy. The first game on Anzac Day, it is the New Zealand Warriors taking on the Gold Coast Titans at Go Media Mount Smart Stadium. The Warriors did go down to the Dragons last week in the Gong, while the Titans, they are getting better, but they are still 0-6. They went down to the Manly Seagulls in a really high-scoring affair at Seabus Super Stadium. Game on Anzac Day in New Zealand since 2015. It's a big occasion for the New Zealand fans. So I'm thinking the Warriors are going to win and win well. Sorry, Blaze. I'm going Wars 13+. I think the Warriors are just going to be up for it, especially on Anzac Day. So it's going to be a good one. I'm going to Wars 13+. Anytime try scorer. I mean, I can't ignore him at the moment. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. Anytime try scorer. Now let's introduce our new guest for round number 8, Anzac Round. Let's go take it out of him.
Haynesy, first of all, thanks for having me on the channel to give my tips for this week. Basically, I'm going to go 8 for 8 and you're going to go... Well, we'll see how many tips we have similar. That's how many you're going to get this week. Warriors versus the Titans for the first time on Anzac Day. I think the Warriors do get the job done in New Zealand.
The traditional Anzac Day clash, Allianz Stadium, it is the St. George Illawarra Dragons taking on my boys, the Sydney Roosters. Dragons, great win against the Warriors last week in the Gong. The Roosters went down in a narrow, tight affair at Allianz against the Storm, 18-12. I mean, Dragons are playing better at the moment. The Roosters have the edge on the Dragons on Anzac Day in recent years. In terms of the result, you know, I'm never not going to tip my boys. Roosters, I'm going to go 1-12. It's going to be an absolute blockbuster like we saw last year. Roosters 1-12, and anytime try scorer, he'll be back on the side. He's due. I'm going Sam Walker.
The big one, Game 2, Dragons versus the Roosters. The Roosters haven't been terrible to start the season, better than they have been usually to start the season. Dragons, however, they've already won 4 games this season, only won 5 the whole of last year. I'm tipping my boys, the Dragons, to get it done on Anzac Day over your Chookies.
And the final game on Anzac Day, it is the Melbourne Storm taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs at Amy Park in Melbourne. Obviously, Melbourne continue their traditional Anzac Day fixture. However, it's with a new team this year. The Warriors are in New Zealand, while South Sydney have stepped up to the plate to represent on Anzac Day. Melbourne have not lost to the Rabbitohs in Melbourne at Amy Park, so I'm leaning that way. Souths are off the bye, so they'll be looking for a bounce back, but I can't see Melbourne losing. I think they're going to get their first 13+ win of the season. 13+, Xavier Coates. I mean, because he's scoring them for fun at the moment. I'm going Storm 13+, anytime try scorer, Xavier Coates.
Game 3, another new Anzac Day matchup. We've got the Storm taking on South Sydney down in Amy Park. South in awful form. Melbourne, they just stay in the fight in most games. They're second at the moment. The Storm continue that run of form and beat the Rabbitohs quite convincingly.
Only game on Friday night sees the Manly Seagulls taking on the Parramatta Eels at 4 Points Park, Brookvale Oval. Manly, you know, they weren't great, but they did manage to get the win over the Titans when they needed to at Seabus last week, while Parramatta were absolutely awful in that second half to the Dolphins, losing like 44-16 or whatever. It was terrible. You know, especially after that win against the Cowboys, you know, they expected to beat the Dolphins up there with no hammer, but yeah, I don't know what happened, you know, especially going to hostile territory. They only played a few weeks ago, but there's no Mitchell Moses, so going Manly big here, Manly 13+, and I'm going stubby caller Ken Nicola. He'll be scoring anytime try scorer.
In the one Friday night game we get this round, we got Manly on and the Eels. Look, Eels looked awful last weekend against the Dolphins. Manly weren't fantastic either against the Titans, taking Manly there.
West Tigers take on the Brisbane Broncos at Campbelltown Stadium in Sydney. Game to go to. The Broncos got to go to Sydney, got to take on the Tigers. I cannot remember the last time the West Tigers won at Campbelltown. If this was at Leichhardt, I'm tipping the Tigers, but because it's at Campbelltown, they have lost the last 9 there. I'm going the Broncos, 1-12. Reece Walsh, anytime try scorer. Because special teams, special players.
Saturday night, first game is the Tigers versus the Broncos. I think, look, enough really said there. Like, the Tigers, again, they've been better this year, but they're still the Tigers. At the end of the day, going up against the Broncos, who looked really, really good last week. Still without Adam Reynolds, still without Payne Haas. So I think they make light work of the Tigers again this weekend.
Queensland Country Bank Stadium, it is the North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Penrith Panthers. Cowboys, they were disappointing against the Sharks last week, losing 42-6, while the Panthers, they weren't great. It was scrappy, but they got their 13-plus win over the Tigers. Penrith are too good at the moment to any team, to be fair. So I'm going to go Penrith 13-plus. I think Nathan Cleary returns, so Penrith 13-plus. And I'm going Brian Toto. He hasn't scored for a while. Brian Toto, anytime try scorer.
For the other Saturday night game, we have the Cowboys, who have the worst defense in the competition, coming out as Panthers. I'm making this before the team lists are announced. Nathan Cleary might potentially be back. I think he will be. So that'd be massive for the Penrith Panthers. That really scares me for the Cowboys, who, as I said, had the worst defense in the comp, which is actually a really frightening stat. Haven't looked too bad so far this season with the ball in hand, but they cannot keep a team out defensively, and that's going to really be the undoing against the Penrith Panthers. Panthers 13-plus, easy.
The Dolphins taking on the Newcastle Knights at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Dolphins, great second half performance against the Parramatta Eels, while Newcastle, they were dreadful against the Canterbury Bulldogs. They're in a little bit of a tough spot. No Kalen Ponga either for Newcastle for the next 12 weeks, so I can only lead towards the Dolphins 13-plus here. I think Newcastle will show up, but I think Dolphins will run away with it. Dolphins 13-plus, and he didn't score last week, but he's scoring this week. I'm going Jermaine Sarko.
Then Sunday, Dolphins versus the Knights. Knights going to be without Kalen Ponga for up to 3 months now. I think, again, they're coming up against a team who don't have their star player. Dolphins look like they've built more of a system now, with Trey Fuller coming in and just absolutely dominating with the hammer out. I do think the Dolphins beat the Knights there.
And the final game of round number 8, Anzac Round, sees the Canberra Raiders taking on the Cronulla Sharks at GO Stadium in Canberra. It's another Sunday fixture for the Green Machine at home. They've been playing some good footy at home, but no Jamal Fogarty. After last week's performance, no Jamal Fogarty. Sharks are red hot at the moment. I can't see a Sharks losing here. I'm going Sharks 1-12 though, because it's in Canberra, and the Raiders have been playing really well at home this year. So I'm going Raiders. I'm going Sharks 1-12. Anytime try scorer. He keeps doing it for me, so I'm going to keep doing it. So Ronaldo Mulitalo will score anytime try scorer.
Last game of the round, the Raiders take on the Sharkies in Canberra, which is going to be really, really tough. Just playing conditions really for the Sharkies. However, they're top of the ladder somehow. Yes, they've been good this season. I don't know if they've been first, best team in the comp so far. But the Raiders, without Jamal Fogarty for an extended period of time, that's really going to hurt them. And I do think because of that reason that the Sharkies can get out to Canberra and get the job done. That's another reason exactly why the Raiders might win, because Ricky will have, their backs against the wall, and this is when the Raiders seemingly do their best.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There is our Round 8 Anzac tips for 2024 NRL Telstra Premiership season. I'd like to thank Trademark Sports for jumping on for this week's episode. We'll have a brand new guest on next week. Make sure you go check out Trademark Sports on all socials. He's a brilliant content creator, so he'll do wonders there. So I'd like to thank Trademark for coming on. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you're new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Haynes_YT. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys out there on Thursday at Anzac Day. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye for now, and go the Chooks.